Yo, what's going on, gang? Changing Network. Another episode of Donte Dog Stories here today. And today, of course, you see the title. The episode is going to be about dogs' loyalty amongst humans. Uh, it's going to be a quick one tonight, and we're going to get right into it. So, first things first, want to thank, y'all already know, if you've been watching the show, for the last 7 episodes. We got to thank 300cruises.com for sponsoring all our episodes. And if you're looking for extravagant travel, y'all already know 300cruises.com is the way to go. So, dog of the day, the boxer. Uh, Many of you may already be familiar with the boxer breed. Very, very popular dog breed. Um, it's probably voted top 10 dog breeds out of all dog breeds. It's just a very, very lovable breed. I've been around a couple of boxers, never owned one myself, but I've been around a few, and I mean for quite a while. And I also, no, I haven't trained one. That was a Conde Corso. But very, very intelligent dogs. When it comes to their looks, they have that muscular frame, real broad and deep chest, with that nice, short, compact muzzle and head. You can get them with the ears cropped or without, and they can flop. Or, of course, they usually come with the dock tails as well. They come in different variations of colors, just like the bullies, with fawns and brundles and blacks and things like that as well. Even white. Very, very hardy breed. One of those breeds that's very hardy. They can pretty much survive in any climate. They can adjust to really anything, any living situation that they're in. They're very similar to the bullies, actually. They just carry a different stature. But the boxer is one of those breeds that's very energetic. Um, they like to play. They like to get after it. They have a lot of drive. So if you're gonna have a boxer, expect to walk. Expect to want to train this dog because, like I said, they are very intelligent. You may get a leaper out of a boxer. They can jump really, really high. I've seen that quite often within the breed. But they are one of the true athletes of the dog world. A boxer, I mean, the name says it for itself, huh? But the boxer is really one of the true athletes of the dog world. One of my favorite breeds, definitely for families. So if you're a family with small kids or older kids, just a family in general, you'll probably definitely like the boxer breed. It's one of those ones that sticks out for families as well. Um, I definitely seen a lot of different families have great success with boxers. So that's the dog of the day. If you're looking to get a boxer, do your research. They come with some very, very good bloodlines, so it's not hard to find real good quality boxers out here nowadays. Just do your research. And let's get into the topic of the day. Dog loyalty amongst humans. So of course that's the topic of the day. And all week we've been kind of breaking down the details of dog and human interaction. And I feel like the loyalty that a dog serves a human is one of the most critical aspects of the relationships between a dog and a human. Because us as humans, we probably don't understand loyalty to a T like how a dog understands it. And a lot of times we'll get the love confused with the loyalty. And that becomes the biggest mistake when you're having a relationship with your dog because a dog understands love, but not like how we understand love. So it's kind of quite opposite at that end. Um, for a human, we probably feel like we understand love to a T, what it takes to give love and show love and things like that with our emotions and our feelings. And then on the other end, with a dog, even though they have feelings, they deep dive more into the side of the loyalty side. Things come loyalty first with them, love second. And I think for humans, it's kind of opposite for most humans. I'm not gonna say all. Um, but as a dog, I definitely feel like one saying that I stick by is loyalty makes you family. Because with a dog, they don't care what the next breed is, what the bloodline of the next dog is. They only care about the pack mentality. So it's literally loyalty makes you family. If you're loyal to me, I'm gonna be loyal to you. No matter what the blood is. You see what I'm saying? So with humans, we typically say, you know, family is family, and blood is thicker than water, and we go by these type of sayings, and we want to show love. We love our family members, but not necessarily moving in loyalty first, uh, and just kind of put loyalty on the back burner and say because I love this person, then automatically I'm loyal to them, which a lot of times that's not the case. So us as humans have to kind of draw back and dial back and understand how loyal dogs really are, um, because it can get overlooked, and then the relationship between you and your dog can actually go left just because you're not um, valuing the aspect of loyalty that they're showing you. So I'm gonna of course try to break this down as the best way possible. This is one of those topics that I know I'll be touching on again in the future because there's nothing that can be said on this topic that can be dumbed down, or not even dumbed down, but just um, consolidated into one show. It's not gonna happen because there's so many things that can be spoken on this topic about. So in this show here, we're just gonna, of course, knock out the basic details of dog's loyalty and the examples of a dog's loyalty and what it means for a dog to want to be loyal to you, and why you should, of course, use that to your advantage and not take it as a take it and abuse it for your advantage. You want to have, you know, an equal relationship with your dog. So a dog being loyal is typically, of course, one of the main things you'll always see from day one with a dog because they rely on us for everything. One thing dogs don't have, they don't have thumbs. So a lot of things that us as humans look at as simple and easy, for a dog that looks magical or godlike. Simple things as opening a bag of dog food, right? A dog can easily open a bag of dog food by going up to the dog food and ripping it open. But if it was never taught that, or wasn't uh, naturally born to do that, they probably wouldn't do that. So simple things like that, as a human doing little things like that, you will be surprised how in awe of your dog is when you do things like this. Just because we have thumbs that can grab things, open doors, open kennels, things like that, things they just can't do, or things that they struggle to do because they don't have that feature. So you could imagine that something as simple as feeding your dog creates a very loyal touch for your dog to you as a human. Um, and us as humans don't take advantage of that time that we do feed our dogs. And I feel like I tell a lot of my clients this. Anybody that reaches out to me, I tell them this: take advantage of the time that you're feeding your dog. There's a reason why we have a food ritual here at Game Changer. It's a reason why I do that. Because I want to increase um, just that sense of loyalty at that time, because I know this is a very divine time for a dog. Uh, because I mean that's how they survive. That's how they look at it. Like I say, loyalty is one way with them. You loyal to me, I'm loyal to you. You turn on me, I'm about to cross you out. And they really live like that. If you ever had two dogs fight each other within the same home, you probably seen that they want to continue to get after each other for the duration of their life after they got into that initial fight. Because that's how dogs feel. It's not no turning back. It's one mistake. okay, because they automatically live off loyalty. So they feel like if you was to turn on me once, I mean, that's all it is that it would take for me not to want to cohabitate with you or do anything with you. Or when every time I see you, I have to go at you. That's how simple it is for dogs because they think loyalty first. They won't think a dog will attack them first because they think loyalty first. So if they feel like a dog has attacked them, there has to be a reason, and that dog won't want to be around that dog anymore. Or when they are, they're gonna go at it because of that loyalty factor. So a lot of times, people don't understand that when you have multiple dogs in a home, you have to be able to uh, just have balance. You can't lead with love. Dogs don't understand that for one. They really don't. They live off loyalty. They don't understand love. Love and loyalty is two different um, concepts. It's two different ways of feelings. Um, and in a way, you know, we kind of put the feeling love onto a dog. And how we see a dog loving us is the gestures they do to us by wagging their tail or licking us in our face or simple things like that that we find gestures of love from a dog. When in actuality, we should be looking for gestures of loyalty. Um, Most people recognize when they leave the house and they come home. A dog like that, everyone will say, always is wagging their tail and happy to see you. If that dog is not, then that's typically not a good sign. But for the majority of the homes that I know I've been in and seen people with dogs, when that owner returns home, that dog usually is 10 times happier than it just was all the time. I've never really seen it happen in another way. Um, and that's another thing as far as the loyalty amongst the humans. Do you think, or have you seen, what other creature, person, anything displays that type of reaction when they see you? Not you're not doing anything special. You're just arriving to where you are. You don't get that out of you really don't get that out of cats. You know, cats are kind of, it depends. Uh, of course, we name a lot of different animals that obviously that doesn't happen with. Um, but with dogs, it's a reason why. Just because you've been gone all day and then you return, that dog just feels totally different about you returning because it's the loyalty behind it. It's literally the physical time that you're spending with your dog that it values. The fact that a dog is able to lay up next to you and just sit there with you, dogs value that. Um, and that's one of the things that me personally I value in a dog and understand that again, I'm gonna use that time for my advantage. So I'm gonna use that time to train my dog. So again, like we talked about in the other shows earlier this week, boundaries. This is the perfect way to create boundaries with your dog by utilizing their loyalty as well. Because I feel like if a dog is honestly trying to show you how loyal they are to you, make them do it in a way that is going to be in your best interest. So I know I said in the earlier show this week, walking into people's homes, the dog may be jumping on you, and I mean, the owner's telling them to stop. They continue to jump on you or whatnot, and then the owner, of course, tell you like, oh, "Excuse me, that's just how he or she is, right?" But me as a dog owner and wanting to display the most or the best behavior for my dog, I don't want my dog jumping on people when they walk in the home, or I don't want my dog jumping on me. I want my dog to have boundaries, and I feel like if my dog is wanting to be loyal to me, that you see that as a way of showing their loyalty. I'm gonna show my owner how loyal I am by not jumping on people, by not jumping on him, right? And that's how I kind of flip it. You know what I'm saying? Like Most people see their dogs and they just as happy to see their dogs as their dogs to see them. They run up to them, hug them, and do all of that, which kind of encourages that behavior. Now, me, I kind of flip it around and I say, hey, I know that you're happy to see me, right? I'm just excited to see you. But the excitement could be carried out differently than how you're wanting to carry it out. You don't have to jump on me to show me that you're excited. I don't have to bomb rush you and hug on you to show you that I'm excited to see you. And now it becomes an understanding. And now the dog feels they're still displaying that loyalty, but they're displaying it in a way that I want them to display it in. Therefore, I'm still getting the same reaction as far as requiring my dog to be loyal to me, which they're already gonna do anyways. And then, of course, using that to make my dog, of course, feel comfortable and wanting to continue and to repeat this process over and over again to constantly show how loyal they are, but also creating the boundary between me and my dog and showing them how I want them to um, greet not only me, but other people that they may come in contact with. That's the part that you really want to use as far as utilizing your dog being loyal to you, because it's their natural sense to want to be loyal to you. That's already how they think. They have a pack mentality. Everybody within their pack, they're loyal to. They might not necessarily love everybody in their pack, but I promise you, everybody that's in that pack, they are loyal to. They know if they have to fight the opposing whatever, they all gonna fight with each other. They're not gonna turn on each other. And the second one does, then like I said earlier, they're gonna go with it. So you never want to lead with love. You always want to utilize the times that you have to make your dog show how loyal they are to you. Because I feel like those are the most important times, especially on a walk. Um, I know I spoke on this the other episode, but when you're walking your dog displaying loyalty on the walk has to be the one of the biggest things when it comes to training your dog, and when it comes to relationship building with your dog. Because essentially, if you're showing the dog the world, it's trusting you in every place that you're taking them. So at this point, as long as the dog is able to go out and come back safely, that's a sense of just confidence for one, being confident in you as the owner, that you can protect and provide, and then the loyalty sense as far as we left out here together, we came back together, the camaraderie of that. You want to utilize that as much as possible because it makes then your relationship as far as your dog listening to you that much stronger, because they already are building that loyal relationship with you by doing these little activities, like I said, doing a food ritual and things like that. And then, like I said, naturally already been in them. They already automatically want to listen to you. That's why on the walks, they are naturally looking to you to show them the world. They're really following you. That's why I said don't get any retractable leashes, because your dog leads by his nose if you allow him to. But really, they're looking to look to you. But if you don't look like you're in control of the walk, they'll feel like they'll put themselves in control and just go wander off and be adventurous. That's not what you want. You want your dog to see the world in the way that you're showing in the world. So this is very important. You always want to make sure that when building you and your dog's loyalty, you are the ideal of what you want your dog to be, because you're basically pushing that image onto them. So if you're on a walk, frantic and wild and can't control your dog, that's how your dog's gonna act on the walk. But if you're controlled and put together, calm, your dog's gonna mimic that image. They want to, because they're looking at you to show them how they're supposed to be out in the world, how they should be moving out in the world. What are the things they're supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to go over here or am I not? Am I supposed to use the restroom here or am I not? This is key elements to training, key elements to relationship building, and key elements to building the loyalty with your dog again. Because you should be in a state to the point where you should trust that your dog should be able to just walk right next to you, even if you had a leash or not. And then, even if your dog does stray away, you should have the ability to call them back at snap of a finger or just a regular recall, no yelling. You should have that ability to do that. That's building the trust with your dog. That's when you know you can really trust it. I appreciate that, that love. That's how you know that you can trust your dog and your dog can trust you. That's the ultimate factor of loyalty. It's already within that dog, but you have to put it in yourself and then, like I said, project it onto that dog. And a lot of times, a lot of owners, they don't do that. They allow their dog to do whatever, and then they let that dog lead how whatever they're doing is going to be. And then that's where things kind of get out of hand. Because, like I said, they're looking for you to be the guy. They're looking for you to show them, the world. And they trusted humans. And one thing I said in the caption of this video was that they're man's best friend. And I promise you, they come out the womb knowing this. They come out the womb knowing this. They come out the womb knowing they're man's best friend. The way that the dog has evolved from the wild to being domesticated and being one of the closest animals to be able to cohabitate with humans, I mean, it's almost like as best as possible, honestly. Because not only are they cohabitating with us and we don't eat them, um, the advantages that they're able to do as far as the work that they're able to do, and we can use them for everyday life, becomes not essential, but it definitely becomes a help to have a dog around in a certain situation. I mean, just by the simple fact that, that they'll bark at somebody that comes up that they may or may not know. That is like your own little alarm system. And it's a good one because dogs have very, very good smell or great sense of smell, I'm sorry, and great ability to hear. I mean, a camera is not going to be able to smell out anything or well, they'll be able to hear now with the audio and the mics that you have in cameras now. But I mean, I feel like a dog is just as good almost that a camera's gonna do, even though the camera just gives you of course, the rollback to see exactly what's going on. But the dog will let you know somebody is there as long as you're there too. And it is a defense mechanism because not everybody comfortable coming around a dog that doesn't know them. And the thing is, dogs will bite. They got teeth and they will bite. So, dog's loyalty is very critical in the dog and human relationship. Utilize it as best as possible when training, when, of course, building the relationship with your dog, and just, and also just when you're thinking as far as your mentality of when you're actually with your dog. This goes back to one of the questions that I brought up the other day. How does this relate to them in the wild? And you have to understand that loyalty relates to a dog on all aspects to them in the wild. That's how they live. There's no question about it. There's no in between. There's no gray area with a dog and loyalty. They want to be loyal, and they're going to do it. Doesn't matter who it is, because that's how they think already. Like I said in the beginning of the show, they don't think out the love. They come out the womb, want to be man's best friend. That's why it's so easy for them to detach from their mother and be with humans. Yes, that is one of the biggest reasons why. Because the way they evolved, the way they've been domesticated, the way they've stayed in captivity, and the way they flourish, actually, by doing that over a lot of different animals is actually amazing for them to kind of do that and as a creature be that intelligent to know like this is the way of survival. Very, very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. And they say, the closest thing to us as far as like IQ or being intelligent would be like, of course, the apes, right? But they'll tell you quickly, I mean, you can't have a chimpanzee living with you. You can't have an orangutan living with you. So as intelligent as they are, they haven't figured out how to properly cohabitate with humans, such as how a dog would. Right? So I want you to think about that. Think about that. Think about how smart a dog has to be to, over time, realize, like, hey, the humans are up to something. And if we figure it out, we can stick by them. And we can keep our lineage going. And what we stand for going. And we can do it living quite well. Especially if you live in the U.S. Because as a pet lover in the U.S., as a dog lover in the U.S., man, dogs got it lovely here. They got it lovely here. They got it lovely in the U.S. Pet owners and dog owners in the U.S. go above and beyond for their pets and their dogs. I mean, on the base level, I mean, they have things from the time that they're born as far as beds, toys, uh, their own areas, own houses sometimes. Like in the U.S., a dog lives a very, very luxurious life compared to a lot of different animals. So you can imagine how, like I said, how smart a dog has to be and intelligent a dog has to be to pick up on what to do and how to do that, and how to just keep evolving with their lineage. 300cruisers.com. I want to thank 300cruisers.com for sponsoring this episode of Donte Dog Stories. If you're looking for extravagant travel, 300cruisers.com is the way to go. And really, one of the other reasons why I picked this is because, like I say, it's nothing that I can say in one episode that really cover all aspects of loyalty of a dog, because it's actually deeper than people think, and that's why I just ask that question of, or not even ask that question, but just put it out to the audience. Think about that. Think about how smart a dog would really have to be to say, hey, you know, that creature over there, that human, essentially, what they're doing is going to work for us too. We need to team up with them. We need to understand how they live so we can live amongst them and not have to live not amongst them and deal with the things that other animals have to deal with on a daily basis when they come into contact with them, right? Because if you think about it, all animals have the same ability to do what the dogs do. And again, like I say, we don't eat dogs. It's a reason. It's a reason why someone can get a cow and still kill a cow and eat a cow. It don't sit often with dogs at all. And it's the reason why people say, oh, that's my baby. It's not by mistake. What the dogs have done to evolve their lineage and their legacy, essentially, uh, is amazing. And I feel like it's very overlooked. And I feel like it was led by loyalty first. And I feel like us as humans, we miss out on that because a lot of humans don't know how to be loyal. Um, and it really doesn't take anything to be loyal. But as humans, we don't. A lot of humans don't have that skill to just be loyal, and that's where the relationship between the dog and the human becomes essential. Because again, a dog will show you um, loyalty um, to the 10th power. There's no question about it. Everything a dog does is done out of loyalty. You don't have to question it at all. And then the thing about a dog with love and loyalty is because say like if someone loves you or you love someone, right? You typically fall in love with this person or thing or whatever. But if for whatever reason there's a change of emotion, you can fall out of love with said person, said thing, whatever, and that emotion turns to something different, completely different, quickly. That doesn't really happen with loyalty. Um, if you ever just been in a loyal or disloyal situation, whatever side you've been on, you typically have a loyal person or a non-loyal person dealing with whatever, and then whatever action is taking place to be disloyal usually gets cut off. It's not really a change of emotion or anything like that, because loyalty is a one-track thing. When somebody shows loyalty, they usually just continuously show it. They don't have a they don't have an option not to show it because that's who they are. So they continuously show that loyalty to whoever comes around because that's just naturally how they live. That's how they think. That's their mind to be loyal because it costs nothing to be loyal. It takes really no amount of energy to be loyal. You just have to do it. It's in the way that you move. It's the same thing with a dog. They're not really understanding that they're just being this loyal being. They're just doing it. They don't know another way. This is how they think. They think on a loyal spectrum. It's really like no in between about it. Just like with the fight and flight. A dog doesn't fight based off of whether they're loyal to you or not. They're based off of whether they're in a fight response or flight response. That's it. The more confident your dog, the more you won't have the flight. Simple. The more you understand this, the better you'll be able to build a better relationship with your dog. For your dog to be loyal to you and for you to be loyal to your dog. Understand that things like putting clothes on your dog and buying your dog the best dog food that you believe is the best dog food for them, even though it may be tearing up their stomach because it may have too much sodium in it. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. Um, and doing things like, um, just little things like that that dogs may not even enjoy. Um, their loyalty actually comes out in a whole different way. I feel like once people start understanding that part, then naturally it'll come along as far as the relationship that essentially turns into the training. Because the better the loyalty is with your dog, the easier they'll listen to you, the less issues that you'll have, the quicker they respond to you because they want to be that loyal to you. And that's one of the reasons I fell in love with the bullies. Um, because of their loyalty. And the loyalty that they display, I feel like it's just top notch. They have a drive to be loyal, and when using the right direction, I feel like it creates a monster of a dog. And I think that's why the American Bully is one of the breeds that is often discriminated, but has to be, of course, to me personally, one of the most loyal breeds there is out. I don't feel like when I work with other dogs, um, again, it comes natural for them, but I feel like bullies in particular, American bullies in particular, kind of overextend in the loyalty department. Like they go above and beyond in that department as far as showing their owners that they are really loyal. And I feel like that energy is unmatched by any other breed. That's just me personally. I could be wrong. Of course, people that breed other dogs, dog breeds, probably feel like that about their breed. And, but I've been around a lot of dogs. I've been around a lot of breeds. And the bullies is the best for me. Um, they have something different in them when they're showing their loyalty to their owners. And I feel like I said, it's unmatched. So, of course, that's me being an advocate for the bully breed, but it's also just me being transparent as well. Because, like I say, I've dealt with the bullies a long time now to the point where I've seen it. It's amazing how loyal they can be. How no matter what you and that dog go through, as long as that dog wakes up every day, you'll get the same reaction out of that dog every time that dog sees you. And I feel like again that's unmatched. So um, very very short show tonight. I want to thank everybody who tuned in already through the live show. Continue to watch the YouTubes. If you peep in on the live and then going to catch it later as a full show, I appreciate that as well. I appreciate the likes and comments that I get, the questions that come to the inbox. Oh, matter of fact, I'll go over a question that I had. So I had a young lady ask me. She has a brother and sister, um, litter mate dogs, and they're approaching 7 months or older. And she asked when the female, like right now they're playing, but when the female is ready, would they actually mate? Man, this is a good question. Of course, dog breeders are gonna laugh that off because we know what's going on, of course. But the average person may not know because a lot of times, the average person doesn't own more than one dog at a time. The average family doesn't own more than one dog at a time unless they're really a dog loving family. Then you typically see more than one dog at a time because they'll say, the dog wants somebody to play with, things like that, which is kind of true. But the dog having the humans around is more than enough as well too. Um, so of course to answer her question, I told her yes they will, because dogs don't really think about it like humans. They see the litter mate brother and sister and they just see them as another dog, you know. They don't really have boundaries when it comes to things like that in the wild. Like whoever's the closest, who's the alpha male that's breeding to all the females, he's gonna breed to all the females that's in the proximity. If they're in heat, he's gonna breed to them. Um, that's just how it goes. That's the life cycle. You're prolonging the best genetics, not really thinking about who was with in the dog world. So, um, yes, if you have young puppies, just because they're litter mates, they're definitely already playing, like they're already uh, about to mate, then as soon as that female comes in the heat, he's going to mount that dog, especially at that age. Um, I've seen dogs hump as early as 2 months, and I've seen a dog young is probably about 8 months tie up. So it does happen, but it is not the ethical thing to do, especially as a breeder. You should not be pushing for anything like that. It doesn't create the best breedings at all, and it's just something that, of course, prolongs your process, and this is just more of a setback for your program. And we don't advise that here at Game Changer. They say wait till your females at least second heat, um, sometimes third heat, and sometimes, of course, the age of the dog too, because sometimes those heats can come pretty quickly. So it's just really up to the owner, but we of course always advise at least on the second heat, um, just to let that dog fully mature. And it's like almost spanning your dog too early. You don't want to beat her too early, and then she doesn't just fully develop as a dog herself. Could cause health issues within the mother dog and things like that as well. So you always want to be cautious of that. But back to the original question, yes, dogs will breed to each other no matter if they're brother and sister. That female is in heat and their brother's around, they're likely going to lock up if they're not separated. So keep your dog separated when you see that your female's coming in heat, when you see blood and you see the male dog's constantly sniffing and licking her her derriere area, and also when you see it starting to swell up as well. Of course, a leak blood because it's basically a dog's menstrual. So keep that in mind as well. That you're probably going to clean up some stuff if you're having your dog on the inside. So um, that's pretty much it for this show. We'll be back live again tomorrow, touching on things like this as far as the dog and the human relationship, how to better it, how to understand it, and I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Continue to tune in, comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Gang Channel Kennels. If you're on Facebook watching, continue to share the content as well. If you look for merch like this, also you'll find it on my Facebook as well. Gang Channel Kennels on Facebook or on my personal Facebook, Donte Lemon. Either or, you can contact me through DM to get, of course, merch like this. Just dropped a new collection, so check out the new collection. That's posted all over the Facebook. Can't miss it. And actually, in the new merch, we use loyalty on the new merch. So um, you see, I'm very very big on loyalty. So y'all continue to tap in, continue to show love. I appreciate everybody that's been tuned in. I appreciate everybody that's watched a couple of earlier shows and came back to tune in. And we have more exclusive content coming soon here in Columbus. They have a bully or just a dog meet and greet here on December 11th, hosted by some nice dog people here in the community. Uh, I'm planning on showing up out there and try to, of course, get some good content of what's going on here in Columbus. So if you are in Columbus and you're watching this video and you see this December 11th, Cooper Creek, 2 to 6 p.m., we'll be having a meet and greet. And I feel like it's going to be a good one. The same guys just throwing it out. He actually threw one earlier this year. I didn't make it to that one, even though I planned to. Wasn't able to make it out there, but I definitely plan on getting out there this time. So y'all look forward to that if you're in the local area. And we'll see y'all on the next show. Appreciate y'all.